Welcome to Subramani. Uh, I'm going to give you some tips on what you have to talk to your parents about finances. But step one, get your own finances in order. Don't ask them, have you made a will? Without having made a will yourself. So telling them, look, last month there was a session in our office. One lawyer had come and he helped us make a will. So I have made a will. And would you also like to make a will? Is better than saying, oh, I think you're old and you're going to die and make a will. That's what it sounds, and that's how people hear it. Have you made a will sounds very, very bad for many people, especially if they're older. But the question of when to make a will, you have to make a will the day you buy your property. It does not matter whether you're 27, 37, 47, 57 or 77. The day you have a property. If you don't have a property and you're living in your family property, your husband's property or HUF property, then you don't need to make a will. However, if you are a person who has any property, you have to make a will, and if you have not made a will, you have to make the will today, right? So first get your own finances in order. Make sure that you have a financial plan. Make sure that you have a budget. Make sure that you have a budget review. Make sure that you have a financial plan review. Make sure that you have made your will. Make sure that you have adequate medical insurance, that in case of long-term care, you have provided for some money in some mutual fund, and your wife and your family knows that this money is for your long-term care, and you put away 1 crore of rupees in that. You've done all that. After you do all this, only can you talk to your parents. Now you are more competent and capable and qualified perhaps to talk to your parents about their finances. So you start by saying, do you have a financial advisor? That's a good question to ask, because if you are not a finance person, you may not have bothered. I know people who have financial advisors, and that financial advisor lost a lot of money for them. I mean, it was a very famous case, like say Karvi. Some 3,000-4,000 crores was stuck, and I don't think many people got much money, and I have no clue. I have not followed up on that case. So is your money safe? Is it with a good person, or is it being managed by somebody whom you trust, you not trust? Or do you do it yourself, right? Many people after their parents die wake up and say, oh my god, my father had 80 lakhs losses in F&O. They had no clue that they were doing it. It's not that they wanted to interfere. Father had 3-4 crores, but they've lost 80 lakhs in the last 1 year in F&O, right? So these things do happen. So when your parents are older, it is necessary for you to take active interest in what is happening, right? If you're a young boy or girl, your mother knew who were your friends. Your mother knew what you were carrying in your school bag. Once in a while, she would do an audit. Maybe you didn't know about it, right? When in your teens, your mother would pick up your phone and check from whom you got messages. Some parents do, some parents don't. I'm not saying you should do all those things, but asking questions about what their finances are, how they're managing, it is very important to know all that. So asking them, do you have a financial advisor? And therefore asking, is your money being managed well? Then second question is far more blunt, and it says, just ask them, do they think they have enough money, and whether they will need help. There's no harm in asking this question, because you need to plan your finances based on their requirements and needs. Now suppose your your mother and father live on something like 5-6 lakhs a year, or maybe 8 lakhs a year, and they have got 5-6 crores in mutual funds, etc. Then planning their taxation, planning their cash flow, all that is part of your job, and I think you should do it. So the next question to ask them is, do you have a list of all your accounts, which means you have a proper financial plan which has done an audit of what you have, and it is all enumerated, kept in one place, etc., etc. So obviously when you ask them this question, you say, do you have goals? You have written down goals? Do you follow it? Do you have a budget? Do you stick to your budget? Are you worried that you may not be able to balance what you have with what you need? Right, so give them all that. Also, maybe this is a good stage to tell them that look, I think you want to leave money for me or for my siblings, but please understand that we don't need it. Just go burn all your money, go with zero, right? You can die with zero, there is no problem. So give them that assurance that none of you need the money, right? So that's very important. And then also again the question is, do you have a will? How have you made a will? Who is the executor, right? You need to know all that. Where are the copies kept? Not that I want to see it today, it doesn't matter. And do you have any special things to bequeath? Do you have any any nephew or nieces or somebody's school fees that you're paying or college fees that you're paying, and you want that to continue, please share all those things with me, right? So, and if you say you got X amount of money and you want to give so much for charity, please be very clear what is charity and how you want to give it, because only when you tell me all that at this stage can I actually implement it. I know people who have not very they don't even feel guilty about it, but they've made some changes. For example, one lady wanted to leave 25 lakhs for Gau Raksha, right? So she was a staunch Hindu and she wanted to leave it for the cow. The kids did some research and they couldn't do it, and they just went and put that money in SPCA. That was not what she intended. She intended this 25 lakhs should go to Gau Rakshak, not to SPCA, not to PETA or somebody like that. But that's how the children implemented it, right? So be very clear what they wanted, how they want it implemented. Can they start implementing it now? Is it are they worried that their money may not last, right? So, and find out who is the executor of the will. Am I the executor? Not a bad question to ask. For my mother's will, I am the executor, and I don't think there is anything wrong in me knowing it, right? So similarly, any life insurance that you have that I should know, any medical insurance which you have, which I may have to claim at some stage, will mom be able to handle it, right? So because a lot of women are not capable of handling it, but there are a lot of men who are not capable of handling it too. So if you can step in as a support, not as an advisor, it would help, right? So is there some life insurance which I should know? Is there some pension that you're getting that on your death it will be annuitized and you will be given a big lump sum, or will that pension fall to 50% and will mom keep getting it? These are all things which you should know if you have been handling their finances. So at some stage they might say, you're asking so many questions, why don't you handle it yourself? That's great, but then you should have the bandwidth that you will be able to do it, right? So ask them, do any special bequests to family, friends, etc., what is to be given, any particular funeral choices, whatever. Also asking them, who is your financial power of attorney? Do you have a financial power of attorney? Is it me? And what have you said about in your what to say living will? What kind of treatment you want? What kind of treatment you don't want? Right? So those kind of things. Or do you have a written living will? What are your wishes for what we should spend on medicines and things like that? At what stage? If you are in a coma, if you are in a ventilator, should we let you be there, or should we, to use a blunt word, to pull the plug? Have you had any problems paying some of the bills recently, or have you had trouble balancing with the checkbook, right? Typical American language, but saying, have you had a problem paying some of the bills on time, or do you postpone, do you borrow from your credit card and make those payments, right? So those are all important questions. And again, how do you want us to handle you during long-term care? Do you want to continue to live here and we pay for support, or will you shift with me, and what will you do, right? So these are all questions again to be heard, question to be asked, because answers for them are not going to be very easy and palatable, but at least you've started the discussion. That's important. Thank you.